Okay, so I've done the weapon tier list. Now it's time to look into the hunters tier list. Now, for the most part, I feel like leaving everything as is to when I last left it. I feel pretty comfortable. Now, the only change which I will need to do is figure out if Lim is going to go to A or if he's staying at S with the buffs, and if Dongso is going to be, well, maybe to check to see if the Wind Boys are going to go up. But once I, again, get to them, I'll get to them, and then I guess the June tier list is when I'll reevaluate everything. But anyway, just want to clarify that. Now, the big reason why we're here is to class on where ALICIA is going to be. Now, obviously my initial goal going into the release of her was to get her to A2, minimum A2, so that way we can have the consistency of the core attack always being at our disposal more often, rather than it being kind of like a one rotation waiting, which, I mean, it can work, right? It could work, because then technically speaking, once you get your ultimate, that is when you'll be able to add an extra rotation to the core attack coming into play. But the A2 really just opens up to make it so that the core attack can be used more often. And then through that, because of course they did completely change her up in terms of her A3. No, I think the A3 stayed with the freeze damage. But when it came to the A5, which I was unaware of up until I A5'd her, they really did cater to the damage output to the core attack itself. Now, again, just want to clarify, is she worth the pull? 100%. She's a fantastic character. She's an amazing addition to the water attributes. An addition that, in my opinion, was needed, so I'm extremely happy about that. Again, we can go into more details about, the future characters and how this is going to affect the water attribute. If it does come to fruition, then overall it's going to be absolutely insane and fantastic with the next SSR. But specifically talking about ALICIA, obviously she was initially coming in as a support DPS, support sub DPS, but they completely just full on said screw it, we're making a DPS demon. And no, they did that, alright. They absolutely did that. So she's absolutely is worth the pull just by having the initial copy. A fantastic addition to your water attributes. If you again wanted my opinion on realistically where you want her minimum, in terms of going for dupes, A2 is kind of where you want to hit it. If you can accomplish by getting her to A2, then she is ready to rock and roll. Honestly, getting that +1 additional thrust does make the difference completely in terms of the rotation on the core attack. And I'll put gameplay up right now so you guys can I just hopped into a game just to kind of show you the consistency of that additional thrust being applied to your basic skills, to show you how often that core attack is at the ready for you to drop. And through that, obviously, that's where majority of the damage is coming from with that core attack. And so, obviously, damage-wise, because I've got her at A5, I mean, it's going to be an insane amount of damage. But just by having that +2, or just by having her at that A2, you can pretty much mimic the rotations and the amount of rotations. I think at one point, I managed to get like 5 core attacks in a single attack. So, like, skill, core, ultimate core, skill, core. And again, if the cooldown's in your favor, and if you are using the concentration firepower, I think that's the accessories, then yeah, you can potentially get core attacks in like 5 rotations. It is pretty cracked out on how an A2 dupe really does kind of bring out the consistency of the core attack. So just wanted to get that out of the way, and that already you guys are kind of getting an idea on where I'm going to place her, because she is a phenomenal character, an absolute insane, I mean, Ice Queen for a reason, hey? So, with all of that being said, I'm going to class her in 2 ways, because there are, yeah, I think there's 2 ways to look at it. So, I have her at A5, right? A5, in my opinion, is SS plus worthy. I'm just going to put that out there. SS plus worthy. The freeze plus 30%, the 50% on the core attack from A3 and A5, and then through all of that, getting that damage bonus, the consistency of how often you can use that core attack. So you're maximizing your damage output by a considerable amount just from her just being in the field for the one time. You can then go out, get min in, get Cheyenne in, get those buffs going on to support her even further, and then when she comes back in, you've got another rotation of doing of a minimum 4 core attacks, and that will pile on, especially if you've got buffs being applied. So an A5 Alicia is SS plus worthy, no doubt in my mind. If you don't have her at A5, I would say if you have her at A2 minimum, then I would say that she is SS worthy. A2 SS worthy. But if you have her maxed out, SS plus worthy, no doubt. I'm sorry, that A5 with that plus 50, where is it? Yeah, increases Bitter Cold Spear damage dealt by 50%. When Bitter Cold Spear hits, it also freezes. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about this. The freeze is also what makes it absolutely cracked. Because initially you don't get the freeze off, you just get the damage off. But that freeze that you get, I mean, as you saw gameplay wise, it makes all the difference of just keeping that enemy there for you to just have your way with, and just pile on the damage, pile on the attack. Even when it's time for it to switch out, you get in your character that is going to be applying support for Cheyenne. That character ain't moving, you've got more than enough time to get all your buffs going on. Cheyenne comes in, and then you start going about building her up, and then you're going to be nuking with her ultimate. So like the combinations between everything with how that A5 plays out, it's just too insanely broken in my opinion. So SS plus A5, A2, and yeah, A2 I would say she's SS. To be fair, me saying A2, like even if you have her at A1 or even A0, I just feel like overall as a unit, with the way Alicia has come across, she is SS worthy. So, but just to kind of give her the bare minimum, A2 I would say. So that's kind of where I'm classing her. So because I have her at A5, I'll stick her with Cheyenne. It's crazy to think how these new SSRs are coming into the game and are just being insane. They're absolutely cracked, especially going further more into their dupe side of things. So you know, that's why I say I look forward to Maylin. Is that Maylin Fisher, right? Is that the new character that's coming up? I'm eager to see on what's going to be happening with her, because right now we've seen 2 characters release and be fully catered to the DPS side of things. I'm eager to see on a character come in more of like a, I don't know, defensive or a supportive side of things, to see how their dupes will play out. But that is pretty much where I'm going to leave it. That is where I'm going to class Alicia. She's a fantastic character. Again, as I'll end it off, A5 she's SS plus. Before that she's SS tier. Because I have her at A5, I'm putting her at SS plus. Just want to clarify that. Alright, that's where I'm placing on the tier list. Fantastic, phenomenal character. And June 19th. Let's see what Maylin's going to be capable of. Is that her name, Maylin? Am I saying it right?